Slurpty derp. He's drinking apple juice today because he's got a bit of an upset stomach still. How's it going, my G's? I wanted to do some videos over the weekend, some nicely new, freshly edited videos of my face and everything, but I've been rather ill again. This time not my hand, it's been my stomach, and a little bit of a fever as well. I thought I might have the big C, but everything came back negative. But mostly I've had a very upset stomach, and it's a little bit like there's been a demon living inside me. Not to get too graphic, but yeah. I've been sort of in bed the whole weekend, unable to work. It's been annoying because I want to get back into a real nice working routine with YouTube as well. Doing some really like cool tutorials for you guys with some new couple of new effects and just some new ideas. I've got loads of ideas, but I just can't seem to get the routine going at the moment. I'm either away or there's no internet or something's wrong with my body. But yeah, hopefully we'll get through this patch. Speaking of patch, I've made a vital patch for you guys for free today, which I'm going to go over in just a moment. But yeah, let's read the comments from my last video. I think some of you guys enjoyed this one, the French horn bass. Yeah, big ups to Mike, always supporting. Yeah, it's good. My arm is pretty much healed up and back to normal. Now I've just got to fix my stomach and I'll be 100% again. Nathan, thanks for your support, mate. Count House Helmet, big supporter in Discord as well. Welcome back, Boss G. That's an awesome patch. Cheers for that. And Adam Cooper, please stop the tofu abuse. I will. I did not realise that tofu has feelings, but I will try my best in future to stop all vegan abuse. Anyway, I managed to, when I had a little bit of energy, I think maybe on Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember when, I made a little patch called the Demon Fourth. And yeah, I wanted to make something quite demonic sounding. So I actually found a sample on Free Sound, which is wicked, which sounds like this. And it's someone's just made it talking into a microphone and sort of affecting their voice to sound like a demon chanting. So let's listen to the original. So I wanted to use like this kind of demon chant as like a starting point to create a bass around, like in terms of the sound design. So let's sort of listen to the sample and it will drop into my bass here with just a cheeky break from my sample pack that I've just loaded in. So don't pay too much attention to the drums because it's just like a template. Yeah, but just see if you listen to the bass and see if you like it, and you can download it down below for free. So as you can hear, it's very like straight and yeah, quite sort of dark sounding. If I put my LFO tool back on, it might sound even better. 1 second. You can just hear the kick comes through a little bit cleaner there. But anyway, how I decided to go for that kind of groove was as I was listening to this demon chant here. This little section here, I thought that was a nice part to loop. So what I've done is I've looped it over here. So that almost sort of works as a little groove on its own, you know? And I like doing that a lot when I'm struggling for ideas for rhythms. You know, I'll just get something that has a natural rhythm to it, whether it's been a recording or if it's, you know, it could be any natural sound. There's rhythms to be found in all of nature, you know. So you can sort of use a recording or something natural to dictate a rhythm for yourself. So that's what I've done in this case. I've taken that. I thought that sounds like a nice rhythm. So I've thrown it into Vital and used that as the starting point for the rhythm and the texture. So let's break down this Vital patch slowly then. Let's turn off all these unwanted Michael Bay effects. And yeah, if I start off just with the sample, you can hear it here. So you can hear it's kind of at quarter notes. So what I've done is I've done this main LFO like a saw down, but I did a little like kind of time slip. It's going to be called the time slip gap, where, you know, somewhere along the saw it suddenly goes a bit quicker. So a little bit of a time slip. And yeah, so tracked to quarter notes. So that's kind of emulating the rhythm of the sample. And what I've done is I've thrown the sample in the vocode section here, and we've gone down to -24. And it actually pretty much spells out the sample quite nicely when you leave the frame down at 0, add a LFO1 to the frame, and then put a saw up at 1 bar. So it's going to go up the frame at nice and in time with the rest of the sample. So it's very much in time with the original at this point. And then I've just unisoned this to give it a bit of a nice width. So that's how we got the original sample in there as the starting point. And then next up is we're gonna modulate this with another oscillator. So I've got a nice juicy sine wave down at -12 here. I'm gonna FM this from our vocoded sample here. Just a little amount, and there's a little bit of randomization on here. And I've got a bit of a time spectral skew mode on here. Just introduces some like much nastier high-end harmonics. But we're going to sort of filter all this out in a moment. But one last thing, it's got another oscillator at -24, and this is FMing from this like time skewed sine wave over here. So at that point, it's really, really fat, that sound. Like really, really crunchy. That's actually quite nice on its own. But obviously, I wanted to filter it to like tame some of that high end, because it's a little bit sort of overbearing. So I've got a nice low pass on everything, except for the sample, which is not going through the low pass. So you can hear the original sample, the high end texture of it, because it's quite a natural high end. So I've left that in, but I've just turned the level quite low on it and automated it. But as we add in our effects, we're gonna really start to bring out some of that high end that we've taken out. But it's gonna sound a bit more natural again, because we've tamed those like harsh frequencies, you know, from like the spectral time skew. We've tamed them quite a lot, but with the filter. So when we bring out the high end again now, it's not going to be as harsh. So the compressor already brings out a little bit of that high end again, and I've mixed it in a very small amount. Just turned the attack up and the release down in this one. It's always different really, depending on each sound, but just swing them both each way and you can usually get a nice quick idea as to what's going to work for each sound. Then distortion, sine fold mode, just like crushing it together a bit. I've got a lovely bit of chorus on here as well, and this is also tracked to my saw down LFO. So this is what I love to do with the chorus to get it to fit. I've mentioned this before a few times, but basically put it to freeze mode and put the LFO on the delays. One going one way, one the other way, I find works quite nicely. And then just blend in the depth, and imagine the depth is sort of how close or how far away your chorused signal is going to be from the original. So how like narrow or like wide you want it in a sense. And then mixing in the whole effect. Add a nice stadium feel to it, my G's. And then a little bit of reverb as well, 13% here. Nice little mid-range push and a bit of high end on an EQ. That's pretty much it there. Now you can see on the post-processing, I've just put a bit of fire on in high end and just driven up with the cubic mode, and then mix that in just 20% here. Oh. If I just mute that original sample again there. So what does it sound like at other octaves? Sounds pretty nice on other keys as well. You could sort of glide around if you wanted to. I've left it on 8 voices without the legato because it seemed like the sample was starting to like, you know, the timing was starting to change on that, and you'd hear it sort of not in time with the rest of the oscillators when I had it on 1 voice. So I've left it on 8 voices for now, but if you can fix that, then feel free. But yeah, that's the Demon 4th bass, little free preset for you guys today. I had an email from a subscriber saying he appreciated the consistency of my uploads, so that's why I thought I would still upload this video today, even if I wasn't feeling quite 100%, because and not sort of having my face involved or editing things to a much great degree, but still a little bit of content for you guys, for a bit of inspiration, and yeah, I hope it helps you in your own sound design journey a little bit. Feel free to use the bass as well if you like it in your own tracks, of course. And yeah, much love, my G's. Don't do anything I wouldn't. Hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit more back to my normal self some point later this week, and then I'll be back on the case, trying my best to create some wicked videos and hopefully pushing some sound design ideas to new levels. That's the idea anyway. Thanks a lot for all your support, guys. Have a wicked day.